Hello and welcome to this video about David Goggins' best-selling book, Can't Hurt Me. David Goggins is a former Navy SEAL, ultra-endurance athlete, and motivational speaker who has inspired millions of people to push past their limits and achieve their goals. In this video, we'll explore some of the key insights and lessons from his book that can help you overcome adversity, realize your full potential, and become mentally tougher. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be inspired by the incredible story of David Goggins. David Goggins is a former Navy SEAL, ultra-endurance athlete, and motivational speaker. His memoir, Can't Hurt Me, has inspired countless people to push past their perceived limits and achieve greatness. In this video, we'll explore some of David Goggins' key insights and lessons from his book. Segment 1: Overcoming Adversity. Overcoming adversity can mean different things to different people, but at its core, it's about facing and overcoming challenges, obstacles, and setbacks. One example of overcoming adversity can be seen in the story of Malala Yousafzai. Malala grew up in Pakistan, where the Taliban had taken control and imposed strict rules, including banning girls from attending school. Despite the danger, Malala and her father were determined to fight for girls' education. Malala began speaking out and writing about her experiences under a pseudonym, but eventually, she was targeted by the Taliban. In 2012, Malala was shot in the head by a Taliban gunman on her way to school. She survived the attack but was left with life-threatening injuries. Despite the trauma and ongoing threats to her safety, Malala continued to speak out for girls' education, eventually becoming the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize laureate at the age of 17. Malala's story is a powerful example of overcoming adversity. Despite facing incredible danger and opposition, she remained committed to her cause and refused to be silenced. She overcame physical and emotional trauma to become a global symbol of courage and resilience. Her story inspires us to never give up on our dreams and to keep fighting for what we believe in, no matter the obstacles in our way. Segment 2: The 40% Rule. The 40% rule is a concept popularized by David Goggins, which suggests that when you think you're at your limit, you're actually only at about 40% of your potential. In other words, when your mind is telling you that you can't go any further or that you can't do something, there is still more you can give. The 40% rule is based on the idea that our minds have a natural tendency to protect us from discomfort, pain, and exhaustion. When we start to feel uncomfortable or tired, our minds try to convince us to stop or slow down to avoid further discomfort. However, by pushing past this natural inclination, we can access new levels of strength and endurance that we may not have thought possible. To apply the 40% rule in your own life, it's important to recognize when your mind is trying to hold you back and to push past that mental barrier. When you feel like you can't go any further, try to push yourself to do just a little bit more, whether that's running an extra mile, studying for another hour, or working on a project for a few more minutes. By consistently pushing past your perceived limits and accessing more of your potential, you can achieve greater success and personal growth. Remember, the 40% rule is just a guideline, and everyone's potential is different, but the key is to keep pushing yourself to be your best self. The lesson here is that we often sell ourselves short and don't realize our full potential. By pushing past our perceived limits, we can achieve things we never thought possible. Segment 3: Callus your mind. Callousing your mind is a term used by David Goggins to describe the process of building mental toughness through consistent and intentional exposure to discomfort and challenges. Just as calluses form on our skin as a result of repeated friction and pressure, the mind can also become stronger and more resilient through exposure to stress and adversity. To callus your mind, you must intentionally seek out and embrace discomfort in your life. This could mean pushing yourself to exercise harder, taking on new challenges at work, or confronting your fears and insecurities head-on. The goal is to develop a mindset that is able to withstand and even thrive in the face of adversity. One key aspect of using your mind is learning to embrace discomfort rather than avoiding it. When we avoid discomfort, we reinforce our fears and limitations, and we miss out on opportunities for growth and improvement. By leaning into discomfort and pushing through challenging situations, we build mental strength and resilience. Ultimately, core using your mind is about developing a mindset that is strong, adaptable, and resilient in the face of adversity. It takes time, effort, and intentional practice, but the benefits are well worth it, allowing you to achieve greater success and personal growth in all areas of your life. Segment 4: Accountability. Accountability is the act of taking responsibility for your actions, decisions, and their consequences. It is a critical component of personal and professional growth, as it allows us to recognize our mistakes and shortcomings, learn from them, and make positive changes to improve ourselves and our situations. David Goggins emphasizes the importance of accountability in his book, Can't Hurt Me, arguing that it is one of the keys to unlocking your full potential. By holding yourself accountable for your actions, you take ownership of your life and become empowered to make positive changes. One way to practice accountability is to set specific goals for yourself and hold yourself responsible for achieving them. This could mean creating a workout plan and sticking to it, setting professional targets and deadlines, or committing to a personal development program. By setting clear expectations for yourself and tracking your progress, you become more accountable for your actions and outcomes. Another aspect of accountability is being willing to admit your mistakes and take corrective action. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to blame others or make excuses, but this only undermines your accountability and prevents you from learning from your mistakes. By taking responsibility for your mistakes and taking steps to make things right, you demonstrate a commitment to growth and improvement. Ultimately, accountability is about taking control of your life and accepting responsibility for your choices and their outcomes. By practicing accountability, you become more self-aware, resilient, and empowered to create positive change in your life. Thank you for watching this video about David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring. Remember, by pushing past your perceived limits, embracing discomfort, and holding yourself accountable, you too can achieve great things. If you want to learn more about David Goggins and his story, we highly recommend reading his book. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, keep pushing yourself to be the best version of yourself. David Goggins' story is an inspiration to anyone who has faced adversity and struggled to achieve their goals. By embracing discomfort, pushing past our perceived limits, and holding ourselves accountable, we can achieve great things. So the next time you're feeling discouraged or defeated, remember David Goggins' words, "Can't hurt me."